Hello, my name is Lachlan. As you may know me from the debate and the play. Hint, there's another play coming up. And I'm here to tell you about a book talk, a book I recently read. It was called Who Was Galileo? And the author was Patricia Brennan Demuth. Don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but let's just go with it. And here we go. So Galileo was born on February 15th of year 1564 in Pisa, Italy. He grew up during the Renaissance, which in my opinion could have led or impacted onto his very artistic life. So yeah, and Galileo was a firstborn child, so Galileo's family was not wealthy, though they weren't poor, so they're in that area, and Galileo always thought of the world differently, more artistically than others. And what I found most interesting about this book was that even in the darkest of times, when he was sentenced to death for believing in the Copernicus idea, which is the belief that the sun is the middle of the universe, rather than the church's beliefs, and everybody believes at that time, that the earth was at the center of the earth, because when you took a telescope, well, they didn't have a telescope, but you could see all of them around you, so he still held strong to his beliefs. And a passage I chose was, on day 2 of questioning, he stopped arguing his case and began to apologize for the extreme danger that he had faced had sunk in. And I chose that quote because it just goes to show that arguing's never the right answer, because he kept his head on, because he apologized. So why I chose this quote is because, one of his greatest contributions to science was, of course, his original belief of Copernicus. He also made the very first telescope, which originally was a toy, but he made it right, and it was at that time called a spyglass, which is why it was a toy. And would I tell anybody to read this book? Well, not tell, but mention it to anybody. I would most definitely recommend or mention this book to anybody who is interested in history, suspense, and sadness. Don't know about the sadness part, but still good. And this is a very engaging book. I love pretty much everything, especially how even in the darkest of times, Galileo never gave up. So I would give this book overall rating of an 8. Bam.